I just spent some time dealing with the spirit behind the group called Antifa. And here's what I realized. Antifa is lying. They're lying so deeply that you need to understand this. Okay, what are they lying about? Well, they're lying about two things. One, they're lying about what they're doing. Okay, they are not against fascism. They are against America. Why did they lie? They lied for two reasons. They lied to mobilize people who wouldn't rightly be against America. So they lied to gain forces. They lied to gain manpower. They lied because being anti-America in your own country, like shooting yourself in the foot, who would take a person up on the offer and say, hey, let's go out and shoot ourselves in the foot? Nobody. So they lie. They're going to numb your foot, hang your foot out there. You don't know that's your foot, and then you're going to shoot off your own foot because you're temporarily numb. That's why they're lying. They are not against fascists. They are against America. Okay, the second reason why they do that is to get you caught in a sort of like this circuitous word trap. So I saw somebody interview man on the street, Antifa protester, and he started out by saying, so why is Antifa out here? And they were saying, oh, what Antifa? Antifa what? There was no organization Antifa. That's because technically they're a terrorist organization on paper now, so they want to distance themselves from the organization, but not the cause, and the cause is anti-fascism. So then you say, oh, well, if you're going to be about a cause and you're going to be against fascism, then do you need to prove that Donald Trump is actually this fascist? Because you're against Donald Trump on the grounds that he's a fascist, right? And then they go, well, we know what he's doing, right? So why are you trying to distance yourself when we know you're being terrorist? So you're trying to distance yourself from the idea that you're a terrorist organization. Meanwhile, you'll jump to the conclusion that Donald Trump's a fascist. You'll say, we don't have proof that you're that terrorist organization called Antifa. You want to distance yourself from that terrorist organization called Antifa, but you won't give the same courtesy to Donald Trump because he's distancing himself. We're trying to distance him from what you said he was, a fascist. He's not a fascist. We can make the case that he's not a fascist, but actually, you don't care about any case that we make. You just want the protection for your real cause. Your real stated enemy is not the fascists. If you said that, we'd be, I guess, less upset, right? We'd be less upset if you were against fascists and we believe that rationally you really are against fascists. But that's a lie. You're against America. Now, a lot of you don't know you're against America, but the people that are funding your organization and started your organization didn't do so to stop fascists. They did so to stop America. They did so to stop America because they want a borderless world. Now, who wants a borderless world? I don't know. But anybody who wants a borderless world, we should all fight that person. Why? We should all fight that person because how can you run an experiment about what's the better society, right? And what's the best set of agreements between disparate humans if you don't keep the laboratory from being contaminated? So communism didn't work. When you ran the experiment 22 or 23 times, it didn't work. So it got judged by all rational people as not working. It had to kill too many people to have a shot at working, right? So communism doesn't work. Fascism didn't work, killed a lot of people. And so why do these people want America? Because they got it in their mind that America is somehow against this borderless utopia. That also is a lie. They're not against America because America is nationalist and it is against the borderless world. That is also a lie. They are against America because by comparison, America put both forms of socialism to shame. That is why they want to get rid of America. They are not anti-borders and they are not anti-fascist. They are anti-America because the experiment that is America had better results than the experiment that was Nazism and the experiment that was communism. Both of those things were forms of socialism. We're not a socialist country. Anybody who's fighting us in the name of anti-Nazism, anti-fascism, anti-socialism is just using that as a smokescreen to hurt the real thing that we are. And that is something that is so successful by comparison. It may not be the best, but by comparison, put their favorite government form to shame. And it is their last effort to use fools among us to shoot themselves as our countrymen in the foot while they do harm to the country. So I'll say this, the last thing you need to figure out. Let's say you lived in one of those states, castle law, somebody come on your property, you get to shoot them. So you're in one of those states. Somebody breaks in your house and they say, I'm coming for your son because your son did this, this, and this, and this, and this. So I'm coming to beat him up. And your son is sleeping in his bed that you provided, under the roof that you provided. And that motherfucker, he's not coming to beat your son up because you see he has like deadly type weapons, not blunt instruments even. You see he's got a knife. I'm coming to beat up your. Do you stand there and debate with him about what your son did? No, you don't. You dispatch the motherfucker. Why? Because he had already overstepped his bounds way beyond talking. So you don't get caught up in talking because he's already violated way more than your son. He's violated your entire home, right? In like manner, you don't get caught up in the definition of fascism with people that are breaking the law. You don't get caught up when you're trying to rid your country of an entire fake electorate that is going to like cause your country to veer off its course. It can't go on its organic course because of too many migrants. We're choking on migrants. So you're in the process of reversing that, and somebody comes in to stop you and make some claim, some wild claim that my reason for trying to stop you is this. You don't stand there and try to find out if their claim is legitimate because they're in your house. It's not the time for talking. You get rid of them. You push them out of your house, or you shoot them if you're in one of those states where you get to do that. But you do neutralize the fact that they're under your roof. And the people that are counting on you count on you not to be fool enough to get into a debate as if the guy wins the debate, what's that mean? You're going to let him go down the hall and put a beating on your son? Are you going to do that? So what's the point of having a fucking debate if you were not going to do that in the first place? So Antifa, like nobody's going to debate with you. Nobody cares that you set up this ploy that you're called Antifa and that you claim you're anti-fascist. You're not anti-fascist. You're anti-America.